a place on the world map that might make your heart skip a beat. A place will make you feel both terrified and filled with longing at the exact same moment. The harshness of nature awakens every sense. It is not just about pure white snow and ice whenever people talk about Alaska. This land does not offer perfect comforts, but it brings the feeling of living fully in a pristine world. Give it a try, and you will write your own story here as a braver version of yourself. Answer Alaska's beckoning right now. Knik Glacier is one of the largest glaciers in central Alaska. This is a stunning natural wonder. A northern desert region surrounded by snow-capped peaks, hanging glaciers, and waterfalls. In winter, Knik Glacier is a vast white world surrounded by massive ice blocks. The striking blue ice blocks, giant icebergs, and rugged surrounding terrain create a picturesque scene. The glacier also offers exciting ice climbing adventures. There are also emerald green meltwater lakes where you can step ashore, paddle around, or jump in during the summer months. A pristine wilderness, it is home to one of the world's most majestic concentrations of glaciers, cascading from towering mountains into turquoise waters. Prince William Sound features a rugged coastline and dense temperate rainforests. This is a habitat for many marine species. The magnificent glaciers pour into the sea, calving with a thunderous roar. The stunning fjords are choked with glacial ice. The calm, protected waters of this sound make it an excellent location to take a cruise. There are unforgettable sea kayaking experiences with numerous beach campsites and public cabins for those who love wilderness adventures. This is also an ideal spot for those who enjoy fishing. Before continuing the trip, I want to ask you something. What image is shown on the background of the Alaska state flag? Over the centuries, as the Earth's temperature continues to warm, melting ice has gradually exposed the rock and soil buried beneath the ice surface. Mendenhall is an example of a retreatant glacier, where the remains of a long buried forest are exposed on the rocky glacial slopes. The glacier flows down from the vast Juneau ice field, descending from an elevation of over 1,000 meters and stretching approximately 22 kilometers. There are various trails, and we will trek across the ice to get panoramic views and see the deep blue glacial features underfoot. Another option is kayaking on Mendenhall Lake, where we can enjoy the sensation of paddling near the icebergs. As we hike away from the glacier, we will pass through changes in the landscape and vegetation. Mendenhall features both waterfalls and lush forests. The rugged and crevasse-filled surface of the glacier creates a spectacular mountain landscape. On the map, Unalaska is just a tiny speck located far away in the vast ocean. Unalaska, a small and remote volcanic rocky island, attracts researchers, tourists, explorers, fishermen, and more. This land possesses a pristine beauty. Unalaska stands out with its windswept volcanic peaks surrounded by the sea and blanketed in white snow during the winter. Unalaska has fog and rains that create a lush green carpet all around. The hills and mountains are lush and green, featuring a treeless landscape with blooming wildflowers. This place makes for a fantastic destination for hiking. This land has a rich maritime history. We can observe a lot of wildlife and go fishing here. Home to many species of birds, mammals, and marine life. It includes vast habitats for coastal birds and populations of bald eagles. This is the second largest national forest in the United States. The national forest features rainforests, coastal bays, boreal forests, and extensive wetlands, encompassing almost every geographic region found in Alaska. We will have many options for recreational activities here, such as hiking and mountain biking or overnight camping trips. Boating and kayaking are popular activities on the calm waters. With hundreds of glaciers, islands, marine wildlife, and majestic mountain scenery, this area is a must-visit destination. The oldest incorporated city in the state, Ketchikan. This place is famously known as the salmon capital of the world, and it also features vast primeval forests, picturesque rivers, and a deeply rooted indigenous culture. Ketchikan has a unique charm, thanks to the richness of Alaska native culture, colourfully displayed in a collection of totem poles from the last century. On one side of the avenue, many shops and houses are built on wooden pilings jutting out over the water, while on the other side, they cling to steep slopes and often feature winding wooden staircases leading to the doors. Ketchikan possesses majestic natural beauty, with endless mountain ranges, vivid blue bays, and waterfalls cascading down from sheer cliffs. Historic Creek Street, a picturesque boardwalk built on pilings across Ketchikan Creek, is an ideal spot for those who love photography. Do you think this place is beautiful? If you do, comment 1. If you disagree, comment 2. Who knows? There might be others who share your opinion. An ideal place for kayakers and surfers. Many people choose to ride the tide as an extreme sport here. With the largest tides in the country, the water level in Turnagain Arm can rise up to 12 meters during high tide. If we go hiking, we should be careful not to get stuck in the quicksand-like mudflats that make up the beaches along Turnagain Arm. To the right, the plains stretch out like a prairie all the way to the opposite shore of Cook Inlet. Here, massive, steep mountain ranges abruptly put an end to their flatness. Turnagain Arm features spectacularly beautiful highway sections as they hug its majestic coastline. If you're interested in wildlife, it is very easy to spot moose in Turnagain Arm. Sitka is a beautiful island city with a tranquil beauty. The Russian Bishop's House is the oldest intact Russian architectural structure in Sitka. In addition, there are other historical structures that still exist here, such as the Boronov Castle Historic Site and St. Michael's Cathedral with its signature onion domes. With routes leading to the peaks of majestic mountains, Sitka possesses a trail system with captivating landscapes. This place features the uniqueness of snow-capped mountains, dense wild forests, and crystal-clear blue waters. Mount Edgecumbe volcano and the surrounding volcanic region are perhaps the most prominent geological features in the Sitka area. Explore the countless islands and bays of Sitka Sound for a chance to view wildlife and admire breathtaking scenery. For wildlife lovers, the Bear Sanctuary is a place not to be missed. Imagine being close to the icebergs, witnessing massive blocks of ice crashing into the ocean as the sound of breaking ice echoes through the air. The beautiful Valdez Glacier Lake is often home to large icebergs that have broken off from the Valdez Glacier. Along with the majestic icebergs, you will be treated to panoramic views of the snow-capped Chugach Mountains. The volume of water flowing from this stunning glacier is immense, creating a lake right at its terminus. In the summer, Valdez Glacier Lake becomes a fantastic destination for kayaking. In the winter, Valdez Glacier Lake turns into a frozen wonderland where giant ice blocks form incredible natural sculptures. Ice skating, snowshoeing, snowmobiling, or biking can also be done on this lake at certain times during the winter. The Kenai River has brilliant turquoise water, which comes from the geology of the glacial valley. The river cuts through canyons and rapids until it empties into the low-lying woodlands. A special feature of this upper section is that the river corridor is drift-only. The meltwater stream is navigable by boat along its entire length. Its entire length serves as a spawning ground for millions of Pacific salmon, which call these beautiful waters home. This river is often dubbed the world's greatest sport fishing river, with a healthy ecosystem and a diverse fish population. The Kenai is also a crucial ecological resource, sustaining the lives of many wildlife species. You might not even realize you're in a town because there are only a few buildings visible from the highway. The small, quiet town of Willow offers many exciting activities such as fishing, boating, and camping. In particular, this place is a mecca for the sport of dog sledding. Willow comes alive during the annual dog sled racing event. Willow was founded after gold was discovered on Willow Creek in 1897. A trail leading to the creek was built, becoming a bustling major transportation route. Willow is home to many species of wildlife, including moose, bears, and birds. This land gives us a very unique feeling of a countryside that is peaceful year-round, just like in fairy tales. If you found this journey worthwhile, please feel free to tip us. We would greatly appreciate it. The icebergs become resting places for seals, sea otters, black-legged kittiwakes, and other birds. Arctic terns and gulls nest on the rocks of Margerie Glacier. Margerie Glacier is a 34-kilometre-long tidewater glacier. The glacier has a picturesque setting, carving a steep valley through towering peaks and ending spectacularly at the edge of the sea. The glacier does not expand into the fjord because it rests on an underwater rock ledge. So the ice falls into the ocean in a process called calving, forming icebergs. It contains piles of debris that appear as dark areas consisting of dirt, rocks, and larger boulders mixed with ice, which are transported downstream to eventually be pushed out from the glacier's terminus. The Tongass National Forest is the largest national forest in the United States. Much of its area is temperate rainforest and is remote enough to be home to many rare and endangered plant and animal species. Dense green forests, majestic coastlines dotted with islands and waterfalls, and glaciers cascading down from the mountains create a diverse landscape. The Tongass forest is covered by ice, water, wetlands, and rock. There are many glaciers here, including glaciers that flow into the sea. This is a place with majestic, rugged terrain and unique communities to explore. We stand in the middle of a city that harmoniously combines the conveniences of the modern world with a pristine natural environment, something that has nearly vanished from populated areas around the world. Anchorage is the most populous city in the state of Alaska. In this land alone, we can open the door to the very best of Alaska. a place that features sparkling glaciers, fascinating wildlife, vast parks and trails, as well as the brilliant northern lights. This land is also home to many species of wildlife, most notably bears and moose. Hiking, camping, ice climbing, and wildlife viewing are highly worthwhile experiences. Not only that, Anchorage boasts fine dining restaurants, historic museums, trendy shops, and impressive theatres. The cuisine here is very diverse, deeply reflecting Alaskan flavours from its seafood and agricultural products. Worthington Glacier is a valley glacier. It is one of the most visited natural attractions along the highway and is easily accessible. Heavy snowfall in the winter can obscure the beautiful view of the glacier when it is covered by up to dozens of meters of fresh snow. The ice features a cool blue color that is incredibly stunning. After the seasonal snow melts, the shapes of the glacier's final branches stand out against the rock and gravel, creating a spectacular scene for photography. Worthington Glacier was designated as a National Natural Landmark in 1968 because this site possesses exceptional value as an illustration of the nation's natural heritage and contributes to a better understanding of the environment. The information above is compiled from various sources. If you have any other perspectives or interesting findings about Alaska, please share them with us in the comments section. We always welcome your feedback and deeply appreciate your contributions to ensure that all views on Alaska are fully shared. Many people consider these waters to be pristine and untouched, but humans have been using these areas for centuries. Cook Inlet has been a cultural centre since its western discovery in the 18th century. This town has supported trade and witnessed many conflicts. Human impact on this beautiful basin continues to tarnish its natural beauty. Every town in this area is an attractive fishing destination. Many places also offer a wide range of outdoor activities, including whale watching cruises, glacier climbing, bear viewing, hiking, and more. Cook Inlet channels the tides, creating very fast currents, swift flows, and occasional tidal bores. This area is home to many species of marine mammals such as beluga whales, sea otters, and others. An ideal river for boating excursions, possessing a vast and uniquely braided river system. The Chulitna is lush and remote. While on the Chulitna River, enjoy the uniqueness of a braided river with no distinct river mouth that changes daily, with gravel bars scattered throughout, as well as the beauty of a majestic, towering cliff canyon. The river is a popular destination for fishing, rafting, and wildlife viewing, attracting outdoor enthusiasts and nature lovers. The Chulitna River has no rapids. A bridge spans one of the longest and most beautiful straight stretches of the Chulitna River. With both banks covered by dense forests, the river here looks like an ancient painting. But the strong current makes it ideal for those who enjoy whitewater rafting. Fairbanks is the second largest city in Alaska, located deep in the interior of the state. Fairbanks is famous for its magical northern lights. We also look forward to the midnight sun phenomenon, which shines for more than 21 hours in the middle of summer, making it too bright to see the northern lights with the naked eye. In winter, on the shortest day, the sun only rises above the horizon for less than 3 hours. Sunrises and sunsets are prolonged. This place features majestic mountain ranges, crystal clear rivers and lakes, and rich flora and fauna. The locals immerse themselves in nature and have created a vibrant riverfront city in the far north. Coming here, dog sledding and skiing are highly worthwhile experiences for us to try. This city is the administrative center of the University of Alaska. This university includes the Geophysical Institute, an animal research station, and a museum of natural and cultural history. A gold rush era town, this land has been through many upheavals, from the severe devastation of a massive earthquake to the large-scale Exxon Valdez oil spill. The flora and fauna have largely recovered significantly since the cleanup efforts were completed. Many wild animals have returned to this place, such as sea otters, tufted puffins, sea lions, and humpback whales. This land is an industrial town, but at the same time possesses stunning natural landscapes. Valdez is a small and charming community nestled in a beautiful fjord, surrounded by towering peaks carefully shaped by the movement of glaciers. With its inherent natural gifts, Valdez offers day cruises for glacier and wildlife viewing, kayaking, fishing, and countless hiking trails. Valdez will keep you busy. For those seeking the ultimate winter experience, Valdez is famous for skiing, snowmobiling, ice climbing, and a fantastic setting for viewing the northern lights. Hatcher Pass is located in the Talkeetna Mountains between the two towns of Willow and Palmer. The main attraction of Hatcher Pass is Independence Mine National Historical Park, a massive abandoned gold mine stretching across an alpine valley. Inside the park's beautiful bowl-shaped valley are the ruins of 16 buildings. On the trails leading to the structures, we have the opportunity to admire vivid blue lakes, crystal clear streams, and the undulating peaks of the Talkeetna Mountains. This area has been heavily glaciated. In winter, skiers, ice climbers and snowboarders all flock to Hatcher Pass. The characteristic terrain features steep basins, jagged ridges, and hanging valleys above U-shaped valleys. Trees only grow at the lowest valley floors. Brush, which is often dense, grows on the lower mountain slopes, giving way to open tundra as the elevation increases. If you're looking for a quiet, peaceful space and pristine wilderness, Denali National Park will be a worthy candidate for you. Denali is bisected by a single road. The landscape of Denali is a combination of forests at the lowest elevations, including deciduous taiga, with tundra at middle elevations and glaciers, snow, and bare rock at the highest elevations. The longest glacier is the Chulitna Glacier. Wild animals, large and small, roam across unfenced lands. Large mammals such as grizzly bears, wolves, Dall sheep, caribou, and moose live the way they have for ages. It is known that the desire to protect wildlife in the area, especially Dall sheep, led to the establishment of the park, which was then called Mount McKinley National Park in 1917. The name of Denali has long been controversial, as Indigenous people always wanted to restore the name Denali instead of Mount McKinley, given by the US government in 1897. After decades of debate and political changes, the mountain was finally renamed Denali. Essentially an island city in terms of transportation, all goods shipped here arrive by plane or boat, even though the city is located on the Alaskan mainland. Juneau is a unique city, as there are no roads connecting the city to the rest of the state or to the continental United States. The landscape here is majestic, beautiful, and ever-changing, and places shaped by ice and snow cannot remain the same forever. Downtown Juneau is nestled between Mount Juneau, Mount Roberts, and the Gastineau Channel, forming a maze of narrow streets that weave through a mix of new architectural structures, old shops, and quaint houses featuring early 19th century architecture from the town's gold mining era. Notable destinations include the State Capitol Building, St. Nicholas Russian Orthodox Church, several museums, and historic South Franklin Street. The waterfront area is bustling with cruise ships, fishing boats, and seaplanes constantly coming and going. From above, the Matanuska Valley unfolds in a way that maps cannot fully capture. The Chugach Mountains block one side, a glacier blocks the other, and in the middle lies Palmer, a small town that has remained there for decades. Winter blankets everything in white, from the rooftops down to the river surface. The snow is not light, it is heavy, and lies undisturbed for months. But when the ice melts, the Matanuska River reveals its true nature, a sprawling network of braided water channels over grey gravel. Just north of town, at Hatcher Pass, the landscape shifts to a harsher story, the ruins of Independence Mine. The mine closed in 1951. What remains now is a park, a few preserved buildings, and the sound of the wind howling through the alpine tundra. Below, the Matanuska River flows through the floodplain. Moose move through the edge of the woods, here the way they always have, on their own schedule, indifferent to everything built around them. The Sugpiaq people paddled boats made of wood and animal skins along this coast for thousands of years before anyone called it a national park. More than half of the Kenai Fjords area still lies under ice. Above it all is the ice field, spanning 1,800 square kilometres. Every year, the ice field receives a layer of snow up to 18 metres thick. What we are seeing is not snow. It is 23,000 years of accumulation compressed into solid ice. At the edge of the cliffs, blocks of ice plunge directly into the sea, breaking apart and falling. The rugged rock islands rising in the middle of the bay are not natural landforms. They are mountain peaks slowly sinking into the sea, century by century. Below that water's surface, sea otters lie on their backs, eat, sleep, and live a life that has little in common with anything on shore. On land, forests cling to the base of the fjords, the first tree species regrowing where the ice has just retreated, reclaiming every inch of ground from bare gravel and rock. Kenai Fjords is changing if we stay long enough to feel it. Upon first arriving, many people are surprised that it is greener than they imagined, a lush, wet, almost tropical green. Grassy hillsides and spruce forests reach right down to the edge of the sea. Here, whether standing in a valley, on a hilltop, or along the rocky shore, the smell of sea salt is always present. Kodiak is the largest island in Alaska and the second largest in the US. The coastline here features hundreds of small bays cutting deep into the land, each with its own watercolor and tranquility. The Alutiiq people lived on this island for over 7,500 years before the Russians arrived. In 1792, the Russians established a trading port here, making Kodiak the first capital of Russian America. To this day, these traces remain deeply imprinted in the town's architecture and culture. The port of Kodiak is currently the largest fishing port in Alaska, with boats always densely packed in the harbour. The Kodiak National Wildlife Refuge covers nearly 2/3 of the island's area. This is the habitat of the rare Kodiak bear. Kodiak is a place that makes us sit and watch the fog drift past the small islands at dusk, naturally not wanting to leave. Standing before Matanuska, the first feeling is disorientation. There is nothing in everyday life that puts you in front of an ice wall dozens of meters high. This glacier seems to be alive and moving. The ice here is so dense that it absorbs the entire light spectrum, leaving only the color blue reflecting back into your eyes. The surface of the glacier is not flat as we often imagine. It is a completely unique terrain. Towering blue-white ice towers, deep crevasses, and vertical ice shafts where meltwater flows. Coming here, we need hats, boots, and poles. And then, you enter a blue ice maze that is impossible to predict from the outside. Matanuska is located in a weather hole, making this area unusually sunny and clear compared to the rest of Alaska. In winter, when snow completely covers the mountainsides and the valley becomes perfectly silent, the glacier fills an entire valley, purely white and boundless. Matanuska will show you that thousands of years are present right beneath your feet. The name Skagway in the Tlingit language means where the north wind blows. And the Tlingit people have lived on this land long before anyone else came here. In 1897, news of gold from the Klondike region spread. Many people came here, turning this place into the largest city in Alaska at that time. Today, besides year-round residents, millions of tourists also flock to this tiny town, mostly from cruise ships docking at the port. Viewed from above, Skagway appears as a town nestled right in the heart of a valley. This land is surrounded by white snow-capped mountains with a deep blue fjord behind it. The historic downtown with its 6 preserved blocks is part of the Klondike Gold Rush National Historical Park, where buildings from the late 19th century still stand intact. The most sought-after experience here is the White Pass and Yukon Route train ride. A narrow-gauge railway built from 1898, constructed using hand-placed explosives and rudimentary tools. The train passes over steep grades and cliff-hanging suspension bridges. Such a small place, yet it holds so many stories. Katmai was established in 1918 to protect the volcanically devastated land surrounding Nova Rupta and the Valley of 10,000 Smokes. But what people remember about Katmai today are the bears. Brooks Falls is just enough to create a wall of water that salmon are forced to jump over, and enough for brown bears to stand right at the top, mouths open waiting. Salmon do not just feed the bears. Katmai unfolds in a way that no map can fully convey. Stark, grey volcanic valleys, lush green coastal meadows and silt-laden rivers cut through it all. hear bears cross your trail without even looking back. In this land, we are merely passing guests. This is an ideal place if we want to fish, kayak, take in the pristine nature, and view wildlife. A quintessential Alaskan town. Hoonah is a town surrounded by steep coastal mountains and the vast wilderness of the Tongass National Forest. Many define this place as shielded from the north wind, meaning it is protected from the north wind. This town is located on Kodiak Island. Hoonah is an island community, accessible only by boat or plane. The Alaska Native Tlingit culture is the backbone of Hoonah. Hoonah's totem sites are located in front of the Hoonah City School and at Icy Strait Point, featuring locally hand-carved dugout, canoes and totems. A unique destination that perfectly blends authentic Indigenous culture with wilderness adventures. The Tanana Valley stretches along the base of the Alaska Range, a rare expanse of flat land in interior Alaska where potatoes and grains are grown, and which was once the epicenter of the 1902 gold rush. Viewed from above, the Tanana River looks like a giant python winding around wooded islands. Fairbanks grew out of this place with its dirt roads, colourful roofs, and bustling summer fairgrounds featuring food trucks and red and white striped tents. Southwest of Fairbanks is the small river town of Nenana. The Tanana Valley is not the Alaska of ice and snow or majestic fjords. This is the Alaska of everyday life, of old trains running through the taiga, of small towns lying quiet beside the muddy brown river. The Stikine Tlingit people had known of this landscape long before any Western explorers arrived. Steep, moss-covered granite cliffs, murky turquoise seawater, and ice flows that have been moving since before any maps were drawn. A fjord formed by glaciers over thousands of years. In the summer, icebergs crowd the water's surface. Guests on boat tours here can touch or even witness the ice breaking. We can also see seals lying adrift on the ice. The glaciers themselves have been retreating for more than 2 centuries. Ice calving continues constantly, with massive blocks of ice breaking off and their sound echoing throughout the valley before the splash hits the ground. In 2025, a massive rock wall above the Sawyer Glacier broke apart and collapsed into the fjord, causing a tsunami high up on the cliffs. We have gained a clear understanding of glacial fjords and the risks associated with global warming. Most towns push the wilderness further away. Seward does not. Located at the head of Resurrection Bay on Alaska's Kenai Peninsula, this is a city surrounded by mountains that drop steeply into the sea. Viewed from above, it feels like being at the end of the world. Deepwater bays, snow-capped mountains, and sunlight gilding the surface of the sea. In 1903, a group of people came here to build a railroad, and from an ice-free port, they built a town. Seward became the southern terminus of the Alaska Railroad. Just beyond the edge of town is Kenai Fjords National Park. Over 600,000 acres of coastline, mountain peaks, and ice, covered by a massive ice field that feeds nearly 40 glaciers. The economy still relies on fishing and tourism, which reflects the true authenticity of the town. Boats operate year-round and the mountains are always right there. We can tell the changing of the seasons just by looking up. Seward is small, but everything around it is not. Many people call this place the end of the road. That is true. It is the final point of the road system in Alaska that you can reach by car. The Hoonah Spit is a narrow strip of land extending into the middle of Ketchikan Bay. In 1899, a long railroad along the spit to transport coal from the mine to the dock drew people in, and Hoonah gradually became a town. In winter, snow completely covers the Hoonah Spit and boats lie still in the ice. But even then, locals still go out skiing. At the peak of summer, the Hoonah Harbour holds thousands of commercial fishing boats, with cruise ships coming in and out of the port every day. Across the bay, the southern mountainsides are covered with glaciers and dense forests. To the north is flat lowland that has never been touched by glaciers. There are absolutely no roads in, only boats and planes. Hoonah is the place people come to when they want to get away from it all. The breathtaking works of nature in Alaska are vast and wild. Every coordinate feels as if it is breathing, capable of touching all of our senses. These brilliant scenes might be different tomorrow, as time is eroding the ice faster than we think. Alaska is majestic yet fragile at the same time.